Hey guys, welcome to SLC Punkcast Live and Wired. I am your host, Eric U. Norris, otherwise known as The Unit. And yeah, I'm not here. You won't be seeing my face today. That's because if you listen to the episode of the Punkcast, this week got way too busy for me. And part of it is because I'll be going to see Agnostic Front and Murphy's Law tonight. Well, time of this recording, by the time you're listening to them, I will have already seen them, and I will be telling you about that show next week in Tales from the Pit. But as for today, as for this week, I don't have any Tales from the Pit. I did not see a show this last week. I went to a haunted house, though. I went to Asylum 49 out in Tooele. If you're not from Utah, Tooele is a city just west of Salt Lake. Just about as far west as the Great Salt Lake, proper Great Salt Lake. But anyway, my friend Bryce works out there. He works in the haunted house called Asylum 49, which is an old rest home and hospital, and there's been a lot of, there were a lot of deaths in there. A lot of deaths. So, but the hospital got sold. This guy and his wife bought the property and turned it into a haunted attraction, and it was so much fun going through there. But that wasn't a show, that was just something that I went to. It was really fun, but I can just recommend, if you are in Utah and if you are in Salt Lake or in Tooele or whatever, make a point to get out to Asylum 49 because it is a blast. Anyway, I've got some shows to announce. A lot of shows. Just Guys, what the fuck? There are so many shows happening in the next 10 days. Not even 10. 8 days. 8 days. We are on the 17th. And I'm going all the way to the 26th. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, never mind. My original, it was 10. 10 shows in 7 days. You people are pigs. Oh my God. Oh my God. I will have a lot of Tales from the Pit to tell you about next week. Jesus. Okay. Let's just announce the shows that are happening right now. Tonight, the 17th, and also the 18th. Frick is playing their album release party. Pretty awesome. On the 17th and 18th, it was an album so big they needed 2 release shows. 2 release shows. Tonight will be in SLC with Regan Ashton at the Fellowship Hall. That is $10, and it starts at 7 p.m. Tomorrow, they will be up in Ogden with Unseen Corners and Tacova at the Funkin' Dive Bar. That is $5, and it starts at 8 p.m. And I won't be there. I won't be there because there are 4 other shows happening that night. Okay, 3 other shows happening that night. The first of which will be The Squirms, Jay Graves, P.S. Destroy This, and Molotovin. That will be at the DLC. It is $10 if you buy in advance, $12 if you pay at the door, and it starts at 9 p.m. Also, Spent will be, will be playing their album release show. That is, also on the 18th. They will be playing with Mind's Eye and Run Into the Sun. That's going to be at Fellowship Hall. $12 if you buy in advance, $15 if you pay at the door. And yeah, their new album fucking kicks ass. It is great. So Spent, it's awesome that they're going to be it's awesome that they finally released an LP. It's a classic, old school sounding hardcore punk LP with some thrash leanings. It's fucking awesome. So it's awesome that they're going to be playing that will be their CD release show on the 18th. However, I won't be there either because I am going to see the one, the only, the fucking chaotic scumdogs who have taken residency on our planet I am talking about Gwar, Jwar, Gwar. The return of the Gore Tour is coming to Salt Lake, and I could not be more excited. I fucking love Gwar. I've seen him 3 times, and it's just not enough. It's just not enough. One can never see Gwar just once. They can't even see him twice. You gotta see him multiple times. And my Gwar shirt that I bought the first time I saw them, and never washed. I never washed because it was stained with priest blood and alien semen and God knows what else. President fecal matter. It had a lot of fluids on there, and it stained it to hell, and that's the way a Gwar shirt should be. But my girlfriend unfortunately washed it. So it needs to be stained again. It does. So she bought us tickets to go see Gwar on the 18th this Saturday. I'm fucking excited. It's going to be awesome. And that will sort of make up for her accidentally washing my shirt. And she's going to be dressed all in white. So this is going to be fun. Gwar is always a fun time. Total party. Total fucking party. Anyway, moving on from there, October 19th, Murder by Death is returning to Salt Lake during their End of the Line tour. And they are playing with Andrew Jackson Jihad. That'll be at the Depot. It's only $48. Yeah, only $48. Starts at 6:30 p.m. Then on the 20th, there is a Slug Localized Showcase. And who got localized this month? Swarmer, Al Ghul, and Distant Lands. I am so stoked that Swarmer and Al Ghul got a localized piece because they are both awesome fucking bands. Swarmer is the one that I mistook as having former members of Ditch and the Delta in there. Mainly thinking that Elliot Seacrest was the guitarist and vocalist, but it's not. It is, Jesus Christ, I can't remember his name, but it looks like him. They look alike, and they play basically the same instrument and get basically the same tone out of their music. It's just Swarmer is more brutal. And Al Ghul is some awesome thrash music that's got a bit of a black metal edge to it. It's super fun. Distant Lands, however, I do not know them. I do not know them at all, but I'm sure they are awesome. If they're playing with these guys, they should be awesome, right? Right. Anyway, that's going to be at Urban Lounge, $5 to enter at 8 p.m. And it's crazy. That's a Monday. That's the first time I've seen a Slug localized on a Monday. But that's also probably because, well, the 24th has got a lot going on. I mean, this whole week has got a lot going on. We're on Monday, folks. We are on Monday. And then on, not Tuesday, but Wednesday, we have a few shows happening there. They're on the 22nd, Civilian Thrower, Gene Stealer. I love the play on words in that name, guys. Gene Stealer. Love it. Dysentery, Ribbons, Mindlock, and Paramecium will be playing at the DIY House. Ask a Punk for that address. And it's no asking price, just pay what you can, bring a few dollars, bring $1, bring $2, bring $5, bring some fucking spare change and pocket lint, just pay something to get into the door. Oh, and it starts at 6 p.m. Anyway, going on from there, Jason D. Williams and the Super Suckers, the so-called greatest punk band on the planet, well, self-proclaimed anyway, they are coming back to Salt Lake. They'll be playing at the Metro. That is just $30.50, $30.5 to enter, and it starts at 7 p.m. And then on the 23rd, there are 3 awesome shows that are happening, and I can only make it to one. The first of which is DeBreeder, Man, Woman, and Baby Girl, who will be playing at Aces High. That is a $15 show, going to start at 7 p.m. Meanwhile, over at Fisher Brewing, I never knew them to play shows there. I mean, I know they have a sort of stage area, but I assumed that was just for like open mics or solo acoustic acts, but I didn't think they would have full bands playing there, let alone these guys, Filth Lords, Goat Sifter, and Pirates of the Promised Land. Yeah, that's an awesome show. I'm really bummed that I'm going to be missing it because, I mean, I love all 3 of those bands. I played with all 3 of those bands. I booked them on shows that, put them on lineups on shows that I've booked because they are awesome. They have all put out such good music. Anyway, I'm going to be missing that one, but for those of you that want to check that one out, it is $8 if you buy in advance, $10 if you pay at the door, starts at 6 p.m. But where am I going to be? Well, guys, I will be at the Urban Lounge, seeing Knuckleheads, Slaughterhouse, and the mighty, mighty, mighty GBH. Holy shit, I fucking love GBH. They are one of the greatest punk rock bands to ever come out of the UK. Not just one of the best UK bands from the 80s, but just greatest UK punk bands. They are one of those guys that set the standard for what street punk would be and basically gave a voice to a new generation of punks in the 1980s, alongside the likes of Subhumans, Crass, Amoebics, and Discharge. GBH was right there. The spiky jacket, charged hair punks. Oh boy, I'm excited for this one. This is the first time I'll be seeing them in Salt Lake City. I saw them a couple years ago at Punk Rock Bowling, but for the longest time, they would not come back to Salt Lake. They have been back, but I didn't see them the last time they were here. But it's because one of the promoters, one of the infamous Rick Shoes, booked him and completely ripped him off. So and he was like the most prominent promoter for punk rock shows in Salt Lake for a long time, and bands kept booking with him, and they eventually got wise enough to not book with him anymore because they never got a payout, motherfucker. But we don't have to worry about him. We have to worry about somebody else. But if you know, you know. But I'm excited to be seeing GBH. I got my tickets from Grey Whale just a couple days ago. I'm excited. I'm excited as fuck. And speaking of tickets, they are $30 if you pay at door. But if you go to Grey Whale and you buy something that's at least $20, you can get a few tickets, which is what I did. I spent like 20 some odd dollars on a record for my friend and a couple of DVDs. Well, actually, no, that was later. I went there, bought a Ministry record. That's exactly what I bought. And yeah, bought a Ministry record. It was over $20, and I got 2 GBH tickets. So, one for me and one for my girl. So that's pretty awesome. So yeah, I recommend doing that. But call in advance. Make sure they still have them. You got time. You have next Thursday. That's going to be, starting at 8 p.m., by the way. Then moving on to the 24th, there are 2 shows to talk about here. There is the Bar Named Sue Spooktacular. That is a Halloween party that's going to be happening at Bar Named Sue in Midvale, the one on State Street and like 7,000 something south. But going to be a rad show with the likes of Murphy and the Giant, Hulking Boy Giant, Cougar Gold, and Graveyard Violet. That's going to be starting at 9 p.m. I don't know what the asking price is, but I suppose you'll know when you get there. I can't imagine it'll be that expensive. Bar shows that start this late and event-based shows, they're probably like $5. So yeah, no worries there. And then, and so that's Bar Named Sue on State Street. Then at the Pearl on Main, and also in Midvale, is Kind Eyes, Snuff Tape, Slow Burn, and In Your Grave. That is going to be a fun show. Some like really heavy, slammy, beat down type shit. Yeah, you're going to have a good time over there. Once again, Pearl on Main in Midvale. That's going to be $15, and it starts at 6 p.m. Then on the 25th, Fairyland, the underground venue Fairyland, is doing their own Halloween show, the Fairyland Halloween. And they're going to have the bands Gracemaker, Venus Death Trap, and P.S. Destroy This playing in their house. That's going to be a free show, and it starts at 6 p.m. Also on the 25th, there is another Halloween festivity going on. The Save Me From My Room Monster Mosh with My Pet Spider, Self-Proclaimed Celebrity, Words of Contempt, Primal Aggression, One-Sided, Janine, Carving Initials, and Anna Karina. And then there will be an acoustic set in the parking lot. Well, a few acoustic sets with Evan Seal and Everything Was Okay, and Jet Black Gazebo. That's going to be at One Love Coffee. That is going to be $5 if you have a costume and $10 if you don't. And shit starts at 6 p.m. Gonna be a fun time, I'm sure. And then finally, on October 26th, the Punk Rock Flea Market is happening. They say there's going to be live acts, but I haven't seen any announcements for that yet. But I can imagine it'll be a sort of underground show. If you can make it out in all this scribble, scratchy shit that's counts as words on this flyer, then well, then you know. That's going to be at the Tracy Aviary. It's starting at noon, and it's going to go until 6 p.m. Jesus Christ, that is a lot of shows. I mean, I told you a couple episodes ago that October was going to be dense with shows. Yeah, I've been adding on to it. The last few days, more shows have been announced. I am just about ripping my eyes out of my skull. Like, Jesus, they keep coming. They just keep coming. They just keep coming. Supply and fucking demand. All right. Okay. Maybe I'm still just bitter that the one I really wanted to see got fucking canceled, but whatever. At least I got 3 good shows coming up that I will be attending. I got, like I said, I'll be at Agnostic Front tonight, and then I'll be at Guar on Saturday, and I'll be at GBH next week. Guys, I'm going to have a lot of tales to tell you when I come back. But anyway, guys, that's all the shows that I have for the next week and a half. So I'm sure that you guys will be making it out to at least one of these. And if not, well, there you go. Take your pick of the litter, folks. So yeah, that's all I got. Once again, I am the Unit. I hope you make it out to some of these shows, if not all of them. Yeah, that would be a trip. How can you be in 2 places at once? How can you be in 3 places at once? Regardless, I hope you have a good time. If you make it out to shows this weekend, be safe, and I hope you return unscathed. And if you don't return unscathed, hopefully you'll have a cool story as to why. So once again, guys, I am the Unit. Thank you of SLC Punkcast, Live and Wired, and Tales from the Pit. I'm going to turn it over to Dustin now, and he's going to carry his piece. So guys, thank you. I'll see you in the pit, motherfuckers.
Thank you, Eric. And now we go around the world, as I do, in no particular order. Eric mentioned the show GBH is doing here with Slaughterhouse and that he's going. Well, I plan to go too. They're on tour with Knuckleheads. And as of today, the 17th, Ventura, they're in Ventura, California. They'll be doing Crash Fest. GBH is anyway, only GBH, I believe, on that one. But for the weekend on the 18th, on the 20th, they'll be in Portland, then Seattle, then Urban Lounge here in Salt Lake City on the 23rd. Then they'll be switching to Mainliners as the band backing them with Slaughterhouse and GBH in Colorado on the 24th, Lawrence, Kansas, Minneapolis, Chicago, Detroit, Cleveland, Pittsburgh on the 2nd, Philly, Boston, New York City, Baltimore, Richmond, Virginia, Atlanta, Georgia, and finally they'll be wrapping up in Nashville, Tennessee. So a loaded tour there for them. And then we got the Rocky Mountain Ripper here in Denver on the 16th, the 17th, and the 18th. I don't know who's playing on which day, but it's at Bar 404 on the 16th, which has already happened. But it's $20 per day, the 17th and 18th at HQ. Riverboat Gamblers are going to be there, The Booze, Criminal Kids, Royal Dead, MF Ruckus, so many more as you can see on that flyer. So go check out those bands if you're in Denver at the Rocky Mountain Ripper 5. Next up, we've got Crime Wave 66. They are doing a show on October 23rd with Class and Valley Fever at 7 p.m., 21 and older, $15 in advance. $20 day of the show, and this is in Tucson, Arizona. So if you are in Tucson, go check out Matt Freeman's new band. That one's a little far out. Let's go to October 31st. The Addicts, they'll be at Fox Theater in Pomona with The Briefs and Channel 3. So go see a Halloween night show, and then if you want to go Dia de los Muertos in Los Angeles, Fonda Theater, go see all those bands there too. The Briefs, Channel 3, and The Addicts, all amazing bands. Spaghetti Cumbia, I don't know if that's who's bringing on the show or if that's a band. I don't know. Oh, yep, that's a band, Spaghetti Cumbia. I don't know who that is. I know the other bands, but I'm sure they're pretty great if they got on that bill. So make sure you go check out The Addicts there in your neck of the woods, LA. After that, we are going to go to First Attack. Oh, actually, that was yesterday, so we're going to skip First Attack. Dang it. Well, hopefully, if you were there in Germany, they're probably still out playing. I just had the one flyer. Let's go to Krang and their tour. They're doing some shows here and there. Their next show's 18th, and that is in Czechia. They'll have a couple in Poland at the end of this month on Halloween as well. They'll be doing a few in Germany, as you can see on the flyer. Then back in Czechia, Germany, and Czechia to wrap up November 26th. So they're a little bit sporadic, but they are supporting Ignite on that last show. So go check that out. On October 24th at the Cha-Cha Dancing Gym. And where is Cha-Cha Dancing Gym? Looks like it's in Huntington Beach, California. It's the Ska versus Punk Halloween edition with Spunk, who's a punk band, and Chudson, Switchblade, Stoned Flower, Revancha, Leftover Ska, Zarbamba. There's a costume contest. The costumes are heavily encouraged. Music's going to start at 6:30. It's only $15, so pay it, get in, go enjoy. Then we're going to get to Raging Nathans. They are underway on their tour. A couple shows in Columbus, Ohio tonight. They'll be in Cambridge, Massachusetts on the 18th, 19th in Baltimore, Lake Worth, Florida on the 21st. They'll be, I'm sure that's for, oh, there it is, Fest at the end. They're working their way down to Fest. So 22nd in Orlando, Gainesville on the 23rd, pre-Fest show, I'm sure. And then they'll be playing Fest on the 25th. So go check out our pals in Raging Nathans. On, let's see, what's this one? Oh, that one came and went. Dang it, I should have done a better job cleaning up my list here. Anyway, October 18th, our pals in Direct Action. They're playing with Rancor, Rage Feeds Death, Static Vision, and why don't I fucking remember that one? I forgot it last week too. One of the guys in the band, Direct Action, also I believe plays in that band. Anyway, this is in at Art Vorten Wies, and that is somewhere, I'm sure, there in Belgium where all these guys are at. But it's €10. Go check out Direct Action 2K25 to get more details. But if you are in that area, make sure you go check them out. Love my pals in Direct Action. This weekend, Crash Festival, bummed out I'm going to miss. I even have a ticket, but it just wasn't going to work out for me to get there this year. But it's in San Francisco. You can see the cool lineups there. Jenny Woo's going to be there. GBH, Beer Zone, Incendiary Device, Bullshit Detector's amazing. Barstool Preachers, love those guys. Love the Drowns, Last Gang, Proletaires, awesome. Hunting Lions are awesome. Control, Noise, Ultrasect, Crown Court, Radolescence, Aggressive Manner. So many great bands that they loaded up at DNA Lounge there in San Francisco. So make sure you go check that out. Eric missed this week, as you know. He told you he was going to be at this show when he was recording Strung Out, Agnostic Front, Murphy's Law, and La Armada. That was the 16th, second day. Today they're in Boise. 18th in Portland, Seattle, San Jose, Sacramento, Berkeley, Ventura, Pomona, Vegas, Tucson, Mesa, Palmdale, San Diego, and Garden Grove on the 2nd. Loaded lineup, great stuff. They're killing it out here on the West Coast. If they're in your neck of the woods, you know you need to go see those guys. Then we've got Templars on the 25th doing a Perry Templars Halloween birthday bash, playing with Castillo, Fuerza Bruta, Ultra Sect, Handpay Tracks. You can get your tickets on Eventbrite. It's at First Street Billiards in Los Angeles, 7 p.m., 18 and older with ID, so make sure you do that. It's brought to you by Battlescarred and Nothing Less Booking, who puts on great shows there in Southern California. Then you've got the Two-Man Advantage retirement show with special guests. No redeeming social value, Death Cycle, Distress, a Burrito Bowel, and that's at Amity Music Hall on October 18th. So make sure you get out there and see Two-Man Advantage retirement show. You don't want to miss, and they got some great bands playing with them, so you'll definitely want to see that. Don't miss it. We've got, what else do we have here? Oh, I did a poor job of cleaning up my flyers. I apologize. We have Petty Treason. Just talked to them, Tony, that is, for Punkanoy Worldwide's In the Vault. And Petty Treason on October 31st, playing with the Dreadnoks, who were featured on the last episode of SLC Punkcast, along with Vicious Cycle and Do Webs. 21 and older, $10, 8 o'clock to get in. Costumes are obviously encouraged. This is in Salem, Oregon, at the Tiki Lounge. Make sure you get there. A bunch of great bands, and it's a CD release for Petty Treason. That new CD is pretty dang awesome, so make sure you check that out. Tonight, Piston Broke are playing with Mortier, Reckless Upstarts, Street Code. That's awesome. At Lansdowne, October 17th. All great bands loaded there, and it's $25 to get in. So make sure you check that out. What else do we got? We've got the next Alternative Munster coming up. That's Saturday, November 1st. Our pals in Easy Company playing with Molly Volpine Band and The Revolt. That is at Poor Relation, 8 p.m., and it is free. So that is going to be, I believe, in Cork where those guys do their thing. So go check that one out. October 17th in Chattanooga, Tennessee at Yellow Racket Records. It's $15 to get in, and you can go see No Guard, who are awesome, Sick'em's awesome, The Few, and Downtown Dogs. I need to check out both of those bands. Then, who else do we have? Here's that whole flyer for Eric was talking about Jason D. Williams and the Super Suckers, the world's greatest rock and roll band, that is, Eric. And then Wayne the Train, Hancock, all playing. They are going to be in Vancouver on tonight, the 17th. Seattle, Bend, Oregon, Boise here on the 22nd, Casper, Wyoming on the 23rd, and wrapping up in Parker, Colorado. Then on October 25th, Peligro Social First LA Backyard Gig in 18 years. It's an East LA backyard gig brought to you by Nothing Less Booking with Makosos, Flesh Grade. I think that's Flesh Grade. Hard to read. Fester Youth, Mass Incarceration, no alley parking, entrance through the alley though, and it's $10 day or pre-sale, $15 day of. Make sure you go check that out. That is in Los Angeles. The address is down there at the bottom. Blue Spade Studios, 75 Studios. That is, and then we got Barstool Preachers on Sunday after Crash Fest, playing with Last Gang Empire, codename Rocky, in Long Beach, California. So they go south. They're playing a matinee show, 2 o'clock. It's 21 and older on Sunday the 19th. Go check out our pals coming at you from the UK. And finally, I will wrap up with this show, October 23rd, the Spiky Tops. 21 Gun Salute coming out from California with Brainwashed, who are awesome and just released something. Gabe Xander and Gang Time. It's a Cinco de Mayo, or at Cinco de Mayo, it looks like, in New Brunswick, New Jersey. Go check it out. It's all ages. BYOB, $15 pre-sale, $20 at the door. Show starts at 6:30. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to this week's Live and Wired. And as Eric said, he's got quite the Tales from the Pit that'll be coming at you next week. So stay tuned for that. We'll catch you next time.